Hey, it's John from Habitat with another pro tip. The other day we showed you how to put on fiberglass tape, and the whole objective of that is just get the fiberglass to stick to the wall. You can see it's quite a mess now. It doesn't look very good, but this is how the second coat goes. I'm just going to put mud right across the top of this tape. I'm not going to worry too much about how smooth it is. I'm using a 4-inch blade here. And I'm going to maybe borrow Bob's 6-inch in the other room there. He's working away in the closet there. Because a 6-inch works really good for this. If you put it in the right direction, it's tapered at this point, so it's got a little groove in there. And because of that, Bob, can I borrow your 6-inch in there? Because of that, I can just take my knife and run it right along that tapered edge. And that's all we're going to do on this coat, and then when we do the third coat, we'll clean it up a little bit more. So there's a pro tip on the second coat. Stay tuned for the third coat. We're on to the third or fourth coat, depending on how many coats you put on. But this coat is the easiest coat to put on because you're not worried about too much mud. Almost everything you put on, you're going to take off again. But if we took a close view in here, I've started to do it. Here's some spots I've done. There's these cracks, we call them embers, that when you're dragging your knife across on the second coat, it's pulling these little lines in there. Do not worry about those in the second coat because we're just going to clean them up in the last coat. Also, this edge up here, we're going to clean up in this down here. So the more you clean up those edges, the less sanding you have to do. I can scrape this top edge a little bit, and then I'm just going to, wherever there's lines or holes, I'm just going to put on everything I put on. I'm almost taking off again. Just like that. In this little part here, we'll sand off so you don't have to worry about that too much. So this is a fun coat to put on because you've done all the hard work in the first two coats. This coat is just going everywhere we can. I'm smoothing out these edges by putting a little mud on there. And you just go down and keep on that. Now here you can see all kinds of bumps in here and scrapes and things like that. That's all going to go away in this coat. Sometimes you have to do a fourth coat, depending on what you get done on this coat. But it's even easier than this coat because you're putting less mud on. So if you're putting a lot of mud on this coat, then you're making a mistake. You've almost taken everything off you put on and just filling in the holes. Our last step on the drywalling, it's the sanding. If you did the other steps correctly, it shouldn't be too much on the sanding part. So there's bumps in here from the last coat we put on, but it's going to sand off very easy. If you're sanding more than this, you didn't put enough mud on your third coat and clean up all those cracks and things like that. But it should be as simple as this. I like to use these screens where you can buy them at Menards or Home Depot, any convenience store or a hardware store. They're just a screen, but they sand really well. The sponges work pretty good, but they're great for corners. But if you're going to do a lot of sanding, get one of these screens. They're terrific. And they sand off quickly. This one here is about 120 grit, and that's about all you need. And then once you get all this sanded off, you're really down to painting. And it should be that easy. So another pro tip from Habitat. We'll see you at the restores.